Hey everyone, today I wanted to show you this really good Strand build that I've been working on. It has some crazy synergies, you're grappling all over the place, you're suspending a lot of enemies, you're generating a lot of supercharged hatchlings, and above all else you get to use this crazy super all the time. This super is one of the most damaging burst supers in the game, so I've been trying to figure out how I can use it all the time, knowing that I'll still have it back before the boss comes. The build pretty much works in all kinds of content. Definitely thrives where there's a lot more enemies though. It may not be the best for raid bosses, however, if you have a couple warlocks already, then this will definitely be some nice extra damage. Alright, so let's dive in. The gameplay loop is pretty simple. You want to grapple into a group of enemies and melee them. Then you'll pop a healing rift. You'll shoot a tangled with a strand weapon, which will suspend everything around you. So you just clean up all the rest of the kills, your strand weapon and hatchlings, and you should already have your grapple back where you can rinse and repeat. And once you do this a few times, you will already have your full super. So the gameplay loop is pretty simple, however we do have a lot of different synergies going on, so I'll break those down for each step of the gameplay loop. Alright, first when we grapple in, we'll be getting super energy back from our helmet mods. These are one ashes to asset and one's hands on, because these do stack without diminishing returns, unlike if you were to use two ashes to assets. Since grapple is technically a grenade, but you're doing the damage with the melee portion of it, it does activate both these mods. If you didn't know this, you can check out my previous video where I'm breaking this interaction down, and also subscribe so you'll be first to see my new videos. So also on our arms we have bolstering detonation and focusing strike. These two mods stack as well, and they will give us about half of our rift energy back immediately. And also we have impact induction, which will give us about half of our grapple back. Do note that many of these ability regens will differ based on the number of enemies that you kill with your grapple. So make sure to always be aiming for the larger groups. For our exotic, we'll be using Verity's Brow. This will give us extra grenade regeneration, as well as when we have 5 stacks of death throws, our grapple will be doing double the amount of damage that it normally does. To utilize this, we will be needing to get kills with our strand weapon, but this is preferred because there are a lot more synergies that we'll be using with strand weapons in this build, such as the fragment threat of propagation. When we get a powered melee kill, which grapple counts, our strand weapon will gain unraveling rounds to generate more tangles and suspensions. So right after we get some kills with our grapple, we'll be dropping a healing rift and look for the tangle that our grapple has created. You shoot the tangle with your strand weapon and it suspends everything around you. On our Warlock bond, we do have Bomber and Reaper. Bomber will give us more grenade energy back when we cast our rift, and Reaper will create an orb the next time that we defeat an enemy with our weapon. So with everything suspended, you just kill something and run and collect the orb. You can also use a strand siphon on your helmet to help with orb creation. The orbs will be giving us woven mail, which gives us a ton of damage resist. This is due to the fragment threat of warding, and the orb will also activate our strand surges that are on our boots, as well as stacks on stacks and time dilation to make this increased amount of damage last even longer. So next we need to regen the rest of our grapple. I recommend running a strand weapon with Demolitionist. The new raid auto rifle comes with demo and hatchling, which is amazing, especially since auto rifles will be getting a 25% damage buff here when the mid-season update comes. If you don't have one of these, make sure to stick around. I'll be going over some good alternatives towards the end of the video. But regardless of the demolition perk, we do have the fragment thread of generation, where all damage helps regenerate our grenade. So it's not a deal breaker if you don't have a strand demolitionist weapon. Also, if you haven't noticed, we are generating a lot of hatchlings through our grapple and rift in the super. So we are using Thread of Evolution to supercharge them, so they are a lot more effective in the kind of higher end content. So anyways, after you get a few kills with your strand weapon, you should have your grapple back, as well as 5 stacks of death throws from Verity's Brow, which is going to make our grapple do more damage when we launch ourselves into the next group. Anyways, that's the main gameplay loop. You do this just a few times and you'll get your super back, in which you can then just use it immediately on the next large group of enemies or yellow bar that you come across, knowing that you're going to have it back really quick anyways. The seasonal artifact does have many things that make this build more potent. The ones highlighted in green I strongly recommend, as they make your mods cheaper. You'll have unraveling rounds up more, and when you shoot a tangle with your Strand weapon, it causes a large explosion that is suspending everything. I did not pick up counterweave, which gives you Strand ability energy when you or teammates stun a champion. I feel like this build has enough ability regen as is, and in other content I like using void weapons to utilize volatile flow and bricks from beyond. So it's up to you if you want to pick up counterweave. Alright, so alternative weapons, if you don't have a demolition Strand weapon, you can use Quicksilver Storm, but do make sure that it has the catalyst, as the catalyst does make this a Strand weapon. Primary exotics do get an extra 40% damage increase against red bars, as well as have an increased chance of dropping heavy ammo. So this is a really great choice to use. Other alternatives are the Immortal SMG with demo or hatchling. The Root of Nightmare's sidearm doesn't come with demo, but it does come with a lot of other good perks, such as Frenzy or Hatchling. There's also a combo that it comes with that I'm curious to test out, which is a Pugilist and Swashbuckler. So as you grapple in, you'll be getting 5 stacks of Swashbuckler, and then the following kills will be giving you more melee energy back. So I'm excited to craft one of those. And if you don't want to use Verity's Brow, you can use Eye of Another World, because this just gives you ability regen across all your abilities. Or if you want to go more into hatchlings, you can use the new Swarmer boots, but do note you won't have your grapple back as frequently. But that's the build. Grapple has opened up a lot of different synergies that we aren't used to being able to double dip in. So I tried to structure this in a way that made sense and was easy to follow. If you have any questions or ideas you want me to test out, please leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video or learned something, please share it with your friends and like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.